Proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today's Friday, the 20th day of February 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. I'm going to abbreviate my other opening comments this morning, because we have Minister Michael Myles in the studio with us. He only has a half an hour with us, so we want to cover as much as we possibly can. I will remind you that this segment, or For the Record, which would be the For the Record birthday shout-outs, brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. Accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic. And also by the Credit Union. The Credit Union looks forward to serving the Cayman community for the next 50 years and beyond. So if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. You can share that information by sending it to our WhatsApp number 925-3261. So without any further delays, I'm going to say good morning and welcome to Minister Michael Myles, who has constitutional responsibility for Caymanian employment and immigration. And of course, immigration is a topical issue in the Cayman Islands. Lots of things happening, and he recognizes the importance of keeping the public informed, because if you get ahead of the narrative, then you avoid that situation where people place their own interpretations to things. So without any further ado, Minister Myles, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Thank you, O.C., and I appreciate you having me on at such urgent times. I appreciate you finding space for me this morning. And I want to say good morning to the listening public. You know, as I was saying to you when we were just in break, my responsibility is to ensure that we provide accurate information to the listening public, of course, our people. And a major part of this is yesterday we released a new segment informing people that the amendments that we made in December were going to be delayed beyond March 1st. We are excited about ensuring that the 37 amendments is going to be coming into effect. All of them are critical to the development of our immigration policy. There's a couple of things and why we've decided to delay it beyond March 1st. Mm-hmm. The goal right now is to ensure that it is going to be established. Those amendments are going to be established in March. our government, through the Minister of Social Development, Minister Isaac, is pursuing the national ID. And then when the national ID was launched several weeks ago, a lot of Caymanians sign up for the national ID. It is a voluntary ID, but a lot of Caymanians want that ID. And one of the things that we also found was that the acknowledgement through immigration is stopping a lot of older Caymanians from getting that ID. As we listened to the feedback, it became more insulting for, a person who's 65, 75 years old to write in an acknowledgement. They're not doing it. They don't want to do it, and I can't blame them. So our government has taken the stance that we do not want our people to have to go through more of the process. So we decided to delay the amendments, the 37 amendments from last year, to grandfather in all persons born before 1977 that they do not have to do the acknowledgement. We believe strongly that we have to ensure that our people are prioritized. And this is one of those aspects of prioritizing Caymanians. So we've decided to delay the 37 amendments until further on in March. This particular amendment that we are going to be grandfathering all Caymanians born before 1977 will go before Parliament as early as March 4th.
Okay.
So that's why the 1st of March and the 4th of March kind of clash. We also didn't want to piecemeal the amendments. We didn't want to go on the 4th to make additional amendments and then put amendments in the 1st of March. We wanted to bring everything in at once. Another amendment that we're also making on March 4th when we go back to Parliament is the provision of persons who had already applied for PR and Cayman status. They would have been persons who's already through the door would have actually been subject to the new rules, which is 20 years. It would have disenfranchised those people as well. So we are bringing an amendment to ensure that those persons who have already applied for Cayman status, that of course our Department of Immigration is getting those letters out to ensure that they understand that the law is coming in, that they would not be disenfranchised. We're taking that amendment.
So that is for persons who have applied,
Yep.
who not necessarily those persons who may be reaching that point.
Correct.
Okay.
It's those persons who's applied already, and many of these have had their applications in, months, possibly over a year. We didn't want to disenfranchise those people, so we are ensuring that they're also grandfathered into the old law, where it's 15 years and not 20 years that they actually meet that limit. So that's another amendment that we're also making. We also found out we're also bringing an amendment to the fee regulations to try to move away from temporary work permits. We are actually putting in an express fee on the grant. And this is important for us because over the last 8 months that I've been elected, one of the biggest challenges that we've had is temporary work permits. Everyone seemed to go towards the temporary way, and I get it. They get their work permits faster. But then we also put an express fee on temps, and that, it really overwhelmed the department. So to balance this, we are also bringing a fee for the full work permit. This will be an express fee. While we were actually putting that into the current fee regulations, we found, our draftsman found that the current fee for the temp is actually not one of those things that were actually been implemented in law 15 years ago. So when we were trying to connect our actual fee reg for the full work of the express fee for the full work permit, we then found out that the current express fee weren't actually connected to the current fee regulations or the law. So we need to fix that. In Parliament in December, I made a statement to certainly the opposition when they had queries about the law, I made it very clear to the opposition and certainly to our people that I'm not going to be one of those ministers that knows that something is wrong and because of political expediency, sit on it. Because, well, it's going to ruffle feathers or it's going to some way down the line put us at a political disadvantage. That's not who I am, and it's never going to be about political expediency. It's always going to be about how do we serve Caymanians to the best of our ability, and how do we ensure that the foreign community is also being treated fairly. And that's what these 4 amendments on March, when we go back to Parliament in March, is going to bring. It will continue to bring fairness. As we see more things that's wrong with the bill, and we have gone through the full tranche of the bill now. We've had 37 amendments. We're putting in another 4 to balance the first round of the changes to the immigration law. In addition to that, we're also doing a national immigration policy. That's on its way. That's never been done. We've actually never had a national immigration policy. And, OC, you've been certainly in immigration and understanding the process a lot longer than I have. One of the biggest challenges that I think our boards have and our department have is that everybody interprets the law very differently. Therefore, there's been no consistency with applying the law. So when I got in 8 months ago, one of the biggest things that we started to work on is how do we ensure that we change that? How do we not kick this can down the road? So we are actually ensuring that a national immigration policy is going to actually be implemented that all of our staff have, so everybody can be on the same page along with our boards. And all of the amendments that we are making goes towards that. The first phase of the immigration reform is now done. The second phase, which is these 4 amendments, is going to be done hopefully in March, and then we will bring in an extended phase because there's so much more to be changed with the immigration law. Our goal is to ensure that we have a robust system that works, not this system that is so complicated that and so off the cuff that no one actually gets it. And that's what I'm moving the department towards. We're also moving the department towards efficiency. How do we ensure that we reduce full work permits from, being a year to being under 30 days? And those are things that we're working on now. How do we ensure that amendments don't take us 8 months, but take us, less than a month, if not 6 weeks? So all of those things are also going to be implemented hopefully over the next couple of weeks as we move our immigration policy closer.
Okay, and so we're going to go to a commercial break, but I just want you to clarify this for the avoidance of doubt. The government is not backtracking on anything that it is committed to. Correct. You're just ensuring that everything aligns properly and that you address the issue as far as the national ID is concerned.
Absolutely. The government has made it very clear that our immigration policy has to move forward. The amendments have been made in December. The goal right now is to ensure that we don't leave anybody behind. And we felt that, forcing Caymanians to confirm that they're Caymanians is just not the best move for us to make. And that acknowledgement stops people from moving forward. So we want to do away with that. We want to grandfather, we want to grandfather those folks in and start to move forward. So if they want to get the national ID, they can go ahead and get that.
Okay, so folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Minister Michael Myles will continue. I will ask him to comment on one article that we see in today's Caymanian Compass and interview with the chairperson, I think it would be, of Cayman Finance.
The CEO.
CEO, Mr. Steve McIntosh. And the heading is Cayman, quote unquote, leaving money on the table with work permit delays. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Charles Christopher Bush, 1864 to 1942. Captain Charles Christopher Bush was known to be one of the best turtle fishing pilots around the Nicaraguan coast, especially at man-of-war keys. He was the owner of 2 vessels, the Goldfish and the Diamond, and part owner of the Express, as well as captain. He employed a lot of local seamen who all liked to work on his vessels because of his honesty. After the Diamond was lost in the 1932 hurricane, Captain Bush was always in demand by other vessel owners for his skills in catching turtle. He was in partnership with J.S. Webster and in charge of what is known today as the Webster's Estate and Smith Barcadere, Smith Cove, for more than 25 years. Colleagues urged him to acquire it by quiet possession, but he refused to do so. Just before his death, he notified Mr. Webster that he wanted to give it back, and he did. Captain Bush was married to Annie Elizabeth Nee Radon and the father of 10 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice cold Coca-Cola was.
The parties. The coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Fall in love with your space. Enjoy 30% off custom closets now through Saturday, February 28th. Why not give the gift that lasts? A custom design closet, perfect for his, hers, or both. Professionally designed, expertly installed. Hurry! Offer ends Saturday, February 28th. Don't miss this opportunity to save 30%. Brand Source Custom Closets, Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 today.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Back in '76, 7 of us came together with one vision to help Caymanians help themselves. From 7 to over 20,000 strong, we still believe in helping members grow together.
Because when one of us succeed, we all rise.
Visit creditunion.ky to become a member today.
The Credit Union, serving Cayman for 50 years and still growing together.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have this short segment this morning with the Honorable Michael Myles, Minister with responsibility for Caymanian employment and immigration. He's talking about the delayed implementation of certain immigration amendments to ensure that all of the stars line up, in the same orbit, that they're all in the same orbit. He has explained that earlier, and I'm sure that he will touch on it again. And I've also asked him to comment on the CEO's interview with Compass TV and his comment that Cayman is leaving money on the table with work permit delays. Minister Myles.
So just two things. I wanted to go back and just say to our listening public, because I want to make sure that people understand the absolute criticalness of ensuring that we grandfather in all of our people born before March 1977 to ensure that they don't have to go through the acknowledgement. Even though the acknowledgement is free, people feel insulted. I had the pleasure of speaking to a number of folks in their 70s, and they want that ID. However, they've lived here all their lives, and they feel that as a Caymanian, why am I being asked to be acknowledged? Like, why am I being asked to confirm that I am Caymanian? And I respect that. My mom is 70 years old, and I want to ensure her generation continues to be taken care of and ensure that the confirmations are a lot easier. This affects over 2,600 Caymanians. So it was certainly more than enough. Even if it affected one, our responsibility was also to delay our current changes. And it was hard for me to delay those because we worked very hard to ensure that the 37 amendments was got through the House, and we were prepared to implement them on March 1st. So this is a critical juncture, that we could not put off any longer. We needed to ensure that this also comes back before Parliament on March 4th so we can implement this. Just to get on to what the CEO said, I agree with Steve that yes, we're leaving money on the table. We have a plan, and we are putting a plan in place, and that started as of last week, Thursday, to start to ensure that we make a better headway on work permits. The delays is something that has certainly been part of the culture of immigration itself. We have to change that. I don't believe that it should be taking us 8 to 9, sometimes a year, to process work permits. Amendments are taking us 8 months. All of these are not efficient, and I'm doing something about that. The plan, as I said, have been implemented as of last week. I've spoke to my colleagues. We are also establishing additional staff to ensure that we beef up the staff at the department. I've met with a number of the boards to let the boards understand how critical this is as well. We have 4 boards that we work with. So all around, there are things that we are doing. I also want to make a point, because as I read the article, that there's no, I have no interest in playing politics with how we do this. Our goal is to work with the private sector, certainly work with the financial services. They are by far one of the biggest contributors to government's bottom line. We perhaps make at least $500 million a year just from the financial services alone. But as the CEO mentioned about the, he mentioned that there was something was done where a poll was done where the financial services was asked a series of questions. What I also met with him about is that the biggest complaints about underemployment of Caymanians is also in the is also in the financial services. So when we are doing a number of different polls and certainly other things to gain feedback, we also have to pay attention that the biggest complaints are coming from 2 industries that Caymanians are significantly underemployed or denied opportunities. Financial services also leads the way. So Steve and I have had this conversation on multiple times. I'm not here just to give financial services every work permit that they need. Despite having a Caymanian, we have to ensure that Caymanians are provided with opportunities, are trained to take on opportunities, are promoted when opportunities become available that fit their qualifications and experience. And while the financial services ensures that Cayman stays balanced, our people have to be employed and our people have to be promoted. What I think consistently happens is that, and I've been in so many conversations with folks in the financial services industry, and all I'm hearing is that, well, we need these work permits. I understand that. And I'm not here to stand in the way of anything to do with ensuring that organizations are globally competitive, regionally competitive. But I also want to make sure that Caymanians are not left behind as well. And this is a balance that I have indicated to Steve and a number of folks within the financial services arena. I can tell you, OC, that I have met with anyone and everyone in financial services who've wanted to meet with me. I've met with a lot of folks within the tourism industry who've also wanted to meet with me to come up with plans. I put my money where my mouth is. I've ensured that government is also walking beside these organizations to create training programs. We have 1,500 young people overseas. The Cayman Islands government spends $40 million a year on their education. And one of the things that I will ensure that happens is that every one of those young people who come home, whether it's during the summer or whether it is because they've graduated with a degree, that they have a job coming back. So therefore, I've taken the lead. I've been meeting with recruiters. I've met with just about anyone who can help ensure that all of these young people are placed within a job upon their return. So I hear this, Cayman is leaving money on the table, but money isn't everything of what I am after. I'm also after ensuring that every Caymanian gets a piece of the pie. We cannot leave that behind. And when I hear people talk about, well, businesses is going to be run off, since we have put in these laws, I've not heard about one bank left the jurisdiction. I certainly haven't seen Grand Hyatt pick up and leave, or any hotel in this country pick up and leave. Just last night, I was at the Watermark meeting with their folks, trying to understand their business and how we help, move their business to where they can open as well. So I'm not afraid to sit down with folks and understand, but also have organizations accept they are in a jurisdiction where the indigenous folks deserves the opportunity when they're qualified, when they have the experience, and to ensure that we're trained and move forward. Quite often, that does not happen in the financial services because I get those complaints.
Yeah. And they're getting their work permits because, as it stands now, they have, while some of them may choose not to go the temporary work permit route, that is there for them. And there are many who basically, I would say, abuse the temporary work permit system.
Absolutely.
Once they get the temporary work permit, and that is granted, once they have submitted their application for a grant before that temporary expires, they have the privilege of continuing to work. The same, as a renewal as well. Yes, we understand that some people may feel a little bit uncomfortable that they haven't heard what their about their renewal and what their position is, but 9 times out of 10, it is eventually granted, as well. We've gone over the time, but I want to give you an opportunity for some quick closing comments.
No, I just want to say to the listening public that, the goal for our coalition is to prioritize Caymanians. We're doing everything we possibly can to prioritize Caymanians. I'm also asking that if anyone wants any more detailed information, please contact our ministry. Please don't, listen to folks who don't know what they're talking about. I can only tell you that my word is all that I have. My responsibility is to ensure that Caymanians are treated fairly, that we are prioritized. I want to ensure that all Caymanians are never disenfranchised. These 4 amendments that we're making in March are critical to the 37 amendments that we've made in December, and we want to make sure that it's all done one time. So all of this is really in the best benefit of our people.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister Myles. Folks, just quickly before we go to the news, when we return after the 8 o'clock news, we will have Her Excellency, the Governor, Ms. Jane Owen, in the studio with us, along with Mr. John Bothwell. We'll be talking about the Blue Belt program. We will also be joined by telephone with Ms. Kelly Forsythe, who is on board the RRS James Cook. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrack and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A 28-year-old woman is busted on suspicion of driving under the influence after a car with 3 children inside allegedly slammed into 3 parked cars on Wednesday. The crash on Seaview Road, just west of Knott Street, was called in shortly before 7 p.m. Once on the scene, police noted the damage. Luckily, no injuries were reported. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service's officers did a breath test, netting a, quote, positive result, and she was arrested. One of the 3 children in the car was riding unsecured in the lap of another adult in the front seat. The vehicle's documents were also expired. Police need your help to track down a missing 20-year-old. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says Karen Parchment was reported missing on Thursday, and there is, quote, reason to be concerned for his welfare. He was last seen at the Georgetown waterfront wearing a burgundy shirt and black shorts, and you can find his picture at radiocayman.gov.ky. If you spot him or know where he is, you're asked to call 911 immediately. Members of the public are being invited to pay their final respects to former MP Austin Harris as he lies in state at the House of Parliament later today. Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks reports.
From 10 a.m. this morning until 12:30 p.m., the public can file past the casket in the Parliament to pay their respects as an official guard and parliamentary officers stand watch. Today's observance follows a flag-lowering ceremony at the Government Administration Building, attended by the Governor, senior officials, parliamentarians, and members of Mr. Harris's family. Government says the ceremonial events recognize Mr. Harris's contribution to the government and people of the Cayman Islands, both in the House and in wider community life. An official funeral service will be held on Sunday afternoon at the Church of God Chapel on Walkers Road. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
In other news, after spending Thursday in Grand Cayman, the impressive 5-mast windsurf is in Caymanbrack today. I spoke with Department of Tourism Director Rosa Harris about the visit, by one of the world's largest sailing cruise ships.
Windstar Cruises specializes in intimate yacht-style cruising, carrying far fewer guests than mainstream cruise ships and prioritizing immersive destination experiences.
And this isn't the first time that Windstar has visited the Cayman Islands.
The Cayman Islands was featured in Windstar's Caribbean itineraries for many years, reflecting on our appeal and high-value, experience-driven travelers. The cruise line itineraries often highlight both Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac, showcasing more of the destination beyond a single port stop.
So yesterday, folks in Grand Cayman got this really cool view of the 5-mast sailing ship in the port. What's going on today?
Today, it calls into Cayman Brac as a part of its Stars of the Greater Antilles voyage.
And why is it a good thing to have these sort of more boutique events happening in the Cayman Islands?
The line's presence supports our strategy to continue attracting smaller luxury vessels that deliver strong per visitor spend while maintaining destination quality and community balance.
Now, as part of today's visit, Cemetery Pier, Scott's Dock, and Ramp in Cayman Brac is closed to accommodate Windsurf's visit. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with David Harper. The United States has told the Artificial Intelligence Summit in Delhi that it will not accept global governance of AI, but allies can reap the benefits if they partner with the US. Washington's position is in sharp contrast to calls from many global tech executives and political leaders for tighter regulation of AI. Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has promised big government spending and consumption tax cuts to increase economic growth in her first policy speech since her landslide election victory. Ms. Takaichi also said she would boost defence capabilities in response to China's intensifying military activity. BBC analysis shows that the high death rate of Russian soldiers in the Ukraine war is having the greatest impact on villages and small towns. 2/3 of nearly 190,000 Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine and identified by the BBC came from rural areas. Spain will ask the European Union to lift sanctions against Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez. Its foreign minister said Venezuela is moving in the right direction after Ms. Rodriguez signed an amnesty law to free hundreds of political prisoners. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Relative humidity is 89%. The barometric pressure is 29.95 inches and rising. The wind is east-northeast at 4 knots. Overnight low temperature was 73 degrees. Synopsis indicate generally fair conditions with little chance of an odd shower is expected through the next 24 hours as a ridge of high pressure remains anchored across the northern Caribbean. Gentle winds and seas will persist through the next few days in association with a slack pressure gradient. Forecast for today calling for mainly sunny skies becoming partly cloudy at times with a 30% chance of isolated showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s with a heat index near 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for mainly clear skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:57, low tide this evening at 5:31, and a high tide again tonight at 11:54. The sun was set this evening at 6:26 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:51. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Sunday evening. Thereafter, winds are expected to gradually back to the north and increase as a cold front moves across the Cayman area Monday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Aunt Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit-K, where people come first.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by
Cayman Airways. Call them at 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
And Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Coming from the east on Shamrock Road, flowing at a good pace. Further down, a little different story as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway. But traffic is steady but flowing. And on Crew Road, traffic is moving on steadily. Heading east on Crew Road, moderate flow of traffic. Coming off of the Esther Tibbetts Highway, traffic is steady but flowing, and continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area moving at a moderate pace. On the West Bay Road, traffic is pretty good in both directions, especially in front of the Ritz. Coming from the West Bay 4-way stop, flowing at a moderate pace. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive as traffic is light to moderate. Slow moving traffic on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Expect some delays. Heading east on Crew Road, traffic is moving at a moderate pace. And traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way moving at a moderate pace and continuing on to Huldah Avenue. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Beach and Reggae Sundays on Breeze 105.3 FM from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health. 2 locations, Governor Square and Grand Harbor. Governor Square open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Grand Harbor open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and open on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 947-8900 or visit healthcarepharmacy.ky.
Celebrating 50 years of broadcasting in the Cayman Islands. This is Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As I said earlier, before we went to our 8 o'clock news, that we would be talking about the Blue Belt program here in the Cayman Islands. And it's my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Mr. John Bothwell and Governor Jane Owen. We will also be joined by Ms. Kelly Forsythe, who is now on board the RSS, make sure I get the name now, James Cook. We'll be linking up by telephone with her. So without any further ado, I want to say good morning to Mr. Bothwell and Her Excellency, the Governor. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Welcome to our new studios.
Thank you very much. The studio looks wonderful, OC, and it's great to be here.
Yes, Mr. Connor, thank you so much for having us on this morning.
Okay. For those of our listeners and our viewers who are not familiar with the Blue Belt program, can we give them a little insight into that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure John can fill in a bit more, but I think it's very exciting because, as you know, when we look at the partnership between the United Kingdom and Cayman, and indeed our other overseas territories, the environment is such an important sector of that. And when you think about the environment in Cayman, you immediately think about the sea, don't you? We've got some fantastic protected marine areas that are quite coastal. And so the Blue Belt, we've decided with the Blue Belt program to look more at the blue water, to go further out. The RSS James Cook is quite a big ship, so it can really go around many of the areas of our EEZ. We have quite a vast. What does EEZ stand for?
That's the Exclusive Economic Zone.
Exclusive Economic Zone on the water. Thank you. So the ship has been sailing around the Caribbean for the last month. Looking at the waters of Cayman and also Anguilla and Turks and Caicos Islands. And for us here, it will bring to us more data, more scientific research, more information on the sea floor itself, which, as you know, can be very deep, but also on everything that's in the sea. So obviously the fish, but also the things that you can't see in the sea, the state of the sea, the sort of environmental data that you need, to the temperature of the sea. And so we're very, very proud as well to have someone from, several people from Department of Environment involved in the program, and Kelly, who's actually on the ship, is going to be giving us some more information about it shortly.
Certainly. John?
Yep. Yes. As the Governor said, it's a great opportunity for us. The Blue Belt is one of the UK's premier projects in the overseas territories, and as the Governor said, we're all small island states, but with these large water bodies around us that essentially belong to us, to the territory. But what do we know about it? What can we do about it? And so this has been the support that the UK has been offering to the territories for several years now, building up in each area depending on what we're looking for. So here in Cayman, so they first came and said, we're looking to help with, say, protected areas, and we've had marine parks for 40 years this year now. So it's like, we can help you if you want to talk about them. But we, other things that we said, can you help us with A or B? I said, sure thing. And that's how this program has got started. And so, as Governor was saying, water quality, obviously we can't go 50 miles offshore, 100 miles offshore for a couple of days and check, continuous sites for water quality, whereas something like the James Cook can do that. So we're going to have a beautiful plate of data to set baselines for the state of our offshore waters that we wouldn't be able to do by ourselves. So it's a really beneficial program.
So the distance that we're talking about, from our shoreline in terms of our territorial waters, because I know several years ago that was in the works in terms of the 200-mile limit, and where we're located in the Cayman Islands, that certainly intersects with other jurisdictions that claim a 200-mile limit as well. So all of that has now been resolved as far as the law of the seas are concerned?
No, it hasn't. We still have a lot of negotiating to do with neighbors. But essentially, for anybody who's trying to picture this, you sail out of Cayman, 12 miles is our territorial waters, territorial sea. Beyond that is this exclusive economic zone. So you're still in Cayman waters until you hit, say, Cuban or Honduran or Jamaican waters. There's no high seas between us here in the middle of the Caribbean. So while the line isn't really it's drawn in the sea, it's going to wash around a bit, but you're either in our waters or you're next door, kind of thing. So and so this, we know roughly where the line is going to be. It's just midway between, pending negotiation. So that's where the ship is working out to.
Okay. Ms. Susan, we have Kelly Forsythe on the line. Okay. I want to say good morning. Good morning to Kelly Forsythe. How are things, on board?
They've been really good. We've been really lucky. The weather has been wonderful. Cayman is, giving us a really good dose of Cayman kindness with the sunshine and the calm seas. So I really can't complain. The crew got on board on the 13th of February, which feels like a long time ago now. But they've all been settling into the work that we're doing on board, and we've actually had some really cool findings along the way. So it's been really exciting on board. They're treating us well. The food is good as well, so can't complain.
Okay. You mentioned some cool findings. Tell us about those if you can.
Absolutely. So just for those listening, the expedition for ourselves in the Cayman Islands, we came into Georgetown Harbor on the 13th of February, made our way to 12 Mile Bank, then onto the west side of Little Cayman, which is a really important area for our NASA grouper spawning. We then went along to Lawford's Bank, which is quite close to that median line near Cuba that John was talking about, and then up to Pickle Bank. And now we are in an area where there is quite a significant deep sea ridge off the north side of Grand Cayman. But some of the findings that we've been seeing, so we have a couple of things that we do on board. There are a couple of camera systems. So there's one that goes down really quite deep, but is towed behind or beside the James Cook. And then there's one that is called the Bathy Snap, and this one is baited and left on the seafloor for several hours, so about a 48-hour period, and that is able to capture any of the life that is attracted by the bait. So some of the shots that we've found have actually been of deep sea sharks like Cuban dogfish, of a lot of crustaceans, deep sea lobsters, spider crabs. We've even seen some eels as well. But I think one of the most significant things, especially from Pickle Bank, is just how beautiful and healthy our coral is looking. So, we think of coral reefs, we think of the ones that are close to the shore in our shallow water. And yes, Pickle does have those and they look stunning. But when you go down the sides of the bank, you actually kind of see these other deep sea reefs as well. And it sort of changes from those like rocky, stony corals to more kind of soft sea fan types. And they've been absolutely stunning.
Okay. Now, Pickle Bank are extremely familiar to many Caymanians. There is also another bank out there, I think a distance away, Missirosa.
Yeah.
That's about 90 miles, I believe.
Misteriosa is then going into Honduran waters.
Okay.
And that's one of the ones that's actually over the line. Cayman does have, through treaty, the demarcation line with Honduras worked out. And Misteriosa is on the Honduras side. So anybody heading over there is heading into Honduran waters and fishing there. Part of the treaty does allow certain fishing to occur from Cayman vessels going over there.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother story and show for much later in the year. Kelly and the rest of the RSS James Cook is already working in more in our northern waters. As she said, Pickle Bank, also 60-mile bank, and fishing out that way. Again, right in that, just inside our EZ, hopefully, and checking out what's happening in those areas.
And remind us again, Kelly, the depths that you're talking about. What are they?
So these are really quite extreme depths. Obviously, we think of the really deep sea, and we think of our Cayman Trench. We're not actually exploring that this time around, but we are looking into all of the banks, and they exceed like 3,000 meters. So really still quite deep.
Yeah, so that's like 9,000 feet deep plus.
Wow.
Some of these, yeah.
Okay. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, Kelly, you're going to stay on the line, and we want you to talk more and to enlighten our listeners and our viewers, about the significance of the research that is being done, the findings, how that will help in any way or help to inform, let's say, our local fishermen who rely on fishing in these in those waters. So not only locally, like the group of holes, around Grand Cayman and Little Cayman and Cayman Brac, but also on these banks that you're talking about as well, the significance, of it. We continue to see images of research that is being done in the deep. Sometimes because it is so dark, they have to use special lights to see, what is going on. So more and more is being revealed about our ocean floors, and I want you to talk about the significance of that as well. So don't change that dial, folks. Please stay tuned. Kelly's going to remain on the line. The governor and John are going to remain in the studio as soon as we return from this commercial break.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about the Blue Belt program, which is a UK government's marine conservation initiative supporting the UK overseas territories. That conversation is taking place with Her Excellency, the Governor, Ms. Jane Owen, in the studio with me. Also from the Department of Environment, Mr. John Bothwell. And we have Ms. Kelly Forsythe, who is on board the RRS James Cook. So we're linked up with her by telephone because I think they have Wi-Fi on board, but that's about all. So we've linked up with Wi-Fi with her. So Kelly, tell us about the significance and the importance of the work that's being done out there, and how it will impact and how it will inform our local fishermen and all of those others who may be involved in the marine work in the territory.
Absolutely. So it's really a significant opportunity for the Cayman Islands, for our government, and for the Department of Environment. And really, it has been so significant in the way that it's come about, the way that it's been planned and managed. It's really been a collaborative approach. So this is the first of its kind, and the priorities that we have for the expedition for the Cayman Islands were, the brainchild of the Department of Environment, and we presented these to the Blue Belt program partners to ensure that they not only align with the Blue Belt program itself, but also with the priorities of the department and the wider Cayman Islands government. So essentially, it's really fantastic that our own scientists are on board, are leading, the research that we'll be doing, are taking the photos, are, analyzing this data. And I think that's incredibly special. So absolutely happy to be a part of that. But in terms of the data that's coming out of this, we're taking a very holistic approach to this expedition. So when you think of the deep sea, perhaps people's minds automatically go to the seafloor, go to mapping it, go to maybe taking photos of what's there, like you mentioned previously. And all of this requires a lot of specialist equipment, but we're taking it one step further with this expedition and really focusing on, seabirds to the deepest phytoplankton in the sea. So these tiny little, photosynthetic organisms. And one of the reasons why that's so important is that we will actually know how healthy and how productive our ecosystems are in the deep sea, but also offshore. So in addition to it being the first of its kind in terms of the research that we're conducting, it also includes seabirds, and I think this is the most comprehensive data set that we'll actually have ever gotten for the seabirds of the Cayman Islands. So looking at, what they're doing out here, how many species there are, whereabouts they're found. So are they around the banks? What does that mean? But in terms of, the data overall and how we plan to use it, it will definitely help inform, the areas that may be vulnerable to threats, such as ocean acidification or other things that are, related to climate change. And really, we want to be able to work together collaboratively with our local fishers. I obviously understand how important fishing is to the Cayman community, to our culture, to our heritage. And by no means is this something to be afraid of. The research that we're trying to do isn't to tell people what not to do, but it's to actually help us kind of bring things to the table to have more informed discussions on what we collectively want and how we can collectively conserve it together for future Caymanians.
Okay, so Kelly, we're talking to you. We know that you are the Blue Belt Program Officer. Tell us, something about yourself and, what made you get into this field.
So yes, I am the Blue Belt Program Officer. I'm a generational Caymanian, and I, was essentially made in Cayman, grew up in Cayman, and really growing up on the island has been such a wonderful, unique experience. And I think that definitely has led to pursuing a career in marine science. I volunteered with the Department of Environment a long, long time ago in 2009, actually. And it really did seal the deal for me. I was like, you know what, this is exactly what I want to do. And, just a couple of years later, only a few, I ended up getting this role with the department. And really, it's one that keeps me on my toes. And one of the reasons that it's so important to me to be a Caymanian in this position as the Blue Belt Program Officer, but also as the Cayman team lead, is that representation is so important. And for those of you that are listening that might be aspiring marine scientists, we absolutely can do it. Caymanians are capable, they are driven, they are determined, and I guess, I do really want to drive that home, that this is being Caymanian led for the Caymanian public. And really one of the reasons that, I pursued this career was to do right by the islands and right by the people and right by the environment that we have, which I'm being proven, every day on this research expedition is just so special. So yes, it's a pleasure to be in this position, to be serving the Cayman Islands.
And we actually have 7 other of our Cayman researchers out there who've all got stories much like, variations of Kelly's kind of thing. They're all out there because they love what they do and they love Cayman, and having taken this chance to build up that knowledge. And that's one of the interesting aspects of this Blue Belt relationship, is that, the research ship made sure to have these spaces for each of the OTs, to put people on board. Which was a real benefit over some of the other cruises that have come, research cruises that have come through, and not being able to stop in Cayman per se, just kind of done some work and kept going. So this is a really big advantage that this UK Blue Belt relationship has brought us, is that ability to have, a lot of our scientists out there getting hands-on experience with the type of work that we want to do here, but in a place or with technology that we don't currently have ourselves right now. Like I said, none of our boats are going to go and stay for a week out there doing research kind of thing. So this is just such an amazing opportunity the UK is providing us to get Cayman scientists out there making observational data. Like Kelly said, these seabirds, just observational data that we couldn't get otherwise. We've tracked the birds, we can obviously see them from shore as well. But to actually see what's happening out there firsthand that's kind of the gold standard of science. So this is just a really great opportunity for these 8 Caymanian staff to be out there.
Yes. And Governor, again, I'd like you to talk about and highlight the importance of the overseas territories to the United Kingdom in terms of biodiversity. And when you look at all of the overseas territories combined and the biodiversity that they bring, that collectively is, one of the largest in the world.
Yes, exactly. And we often quote this figure, don't we, that 90% of the UK's entire biodiversity is obviously represented by the overseas territories. So it's interesting that the Blue Belt programme has been working not just in the Caribbean, but actually doing quite a lot of work down in Antarctica and with Falklands, and particularly South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, some of the most remote and beautiful places on Earth, and St. Helena as well in the South Atlantic. Here in the Caribbean, it's great to be combining this work with Anguilla and TCI. And altogether, the amount of blue water that will be covered by this particular expedition is about 365,000 square
something
kilometers.
Huge like that, yes.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's really massive, and so we're hoping that through this partnership we can really help train some of our wonderful Caymanian scientists, and with the equipment and with the processes that are really state of the art, and get data and information that, as we've already talked about today, will help us to manage our fish stocks, to understand what is going on under the water and above the water with our beautiful environment, and to help us to understand what's going on with climate change and how that can help us to continue to preserve. Because at the end of the day, all of this is very important, not just for our environment and the air we breathe and the sea we swim in, but also for things like our tourism product and our economy, isn't it? So we do want it to be relevant to that as well.
And we joined the Blue Belt program in 2023. Can you talk about some of the stages that we've been through so far and the advances that we've made?
So we joined there in 2023, and we're still kind of the early stages of it. The big advantage is right now they're paying Kelly's contract. That was one of the first really big concrete steps that they were able to take, was give us the grant funding to hire somebody to start working on the project here in Cayman, which is how we were able to then hire Kelly back on, kind of thing.
Okay.
So just from that's been a huge advantage. Then we have somebody who can look at this stuff full time, rather than me doing it as 1/8 of my other job, kind of thing. And now it's then talking about what are those next steps. So things like this, as Kelly's mentioned, that way. One of the things we'll probably be hearing about from us this year is talking about red snapper. One of those, stepping a little bit away from the reef and looking out at other species that the DOE Cayman has always known we need to talk about. We just haven't had the capacity to. Now having somebody to start having those conversations and doing that research with UK fisheries science support, saying, here's some techniques that you all can use that we've seen work in the UK or other places with other species that you can try applying here. The water quality work, DOE has done some water quality work in the past. It's the basis of the water, almost kind of thing, as one of my old colleagues would say, and we want to get back into it again. And so talking with them about what is the state of the art, but also kind of what's been applicable here in Cayman, what can we afford to do almost, but equally then with UK grant support through the Blue Belt project of, what should we be trying to set up to get this going again, and then being able to tie that into the crews like the RSS James Cook, where they can go out and do this exact same water quality work, get some hands-on experience, but also take background samples from places we're not going to get to even once we get set back up here locally, and also at depths that we wouldn't be looking at necessarily. And as Kelly said, it's about trying to get that holistic approach to what is happening out there and how well is the environment doing, top to bottom, seabed to the birds flying above it, because that will give us a really good idea of how it's applying to everything. As we know, the sea is incredibly complex and interlinked, and if any one part of it starts to break, the whole thing's going to break down. So although we talk about it in discrete components, it's really about that overall looking at the whole area. What is the health of Cayman's offshore environment? So, from just beyond the reef outwards. And that's been the big strength of this, is to give us that capacity to start looking and start having those conversations. And looking forward to continuing good relationships with the UK Blue Belts, and ongoing UK support, which they've, committed to, which has been great for all the territories. But, we've got a plan here of you're going to see and hear us talking more about these issues over the next couple of years, because this is a long-term support commitment, which is the other big advantage of this UK Blue Belt program over a lot of other grant funds, where it's a short-term project getting funded. This is them coming and saying, how can we help you do this for the long term? And that's been that's a beautiful relationship to start to build.
And that is extremely important, because we see in this day and age now where, some of the major players as far as climate change is concerned are sort of delaying or backing away from some of the commitments that they have made. So it is extremely important that the UK then, wraps up its initiatives and its support as well. Kelly, you're still with us. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, before we close off the show, I would like you to highlight to the public, how they can go about being involved, in this, and how they can keep, up to date, as far as the expedition and live streaming and things of that nature is concerned. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Fall in love with your space. Enjoy 30% off custom closets now through Saturday, February 28th. Why not give the gift that lasts? A custom design closet, perfect for his, hers, or both. Professionally designed, expertly installed. Hurry! Offer ends Saturday, February 28th. Don't miss this opportunity to save 30%. Brand Source Custom Closets, Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 today.
Happy 50th anniversary Radio Cayman. What an enormous legacy that has been made by Radio Cayman. God bless all of the employees, past and present, that have made Radio Cayman special. So as we celebrate this 50th anniversary, as we celebrate improvements and renovations to Radio Cayman, let's be thankful for the first 50 years, and Lord willing, ingenuity willing, collaboration willing, another 50 for Radio Cayman. Happy anniversary.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about the Blue Belt program. We have Miss Kelly Forsythe, who's on board the vessel James Cook. In the studio, we have Her Excellency the Governor, Miss Jane Owen, and manager at the Department of Environment, Mr. John Bothwell. We want to ensure that we cover everything that you want to cover, because we know that you both have other commitments this morning. But I just wanted to point out that we have Kelly on the phone, but there are other Caymanians who are involved in this project as well. Paul, Claire, Sabrina, Justin, Megan, Jane, and Matt. So, John, you want to tell us, about them as well, or should we have Kelly? She's probably familiar with all of them.
Yeah, I can do a little bit. And
okay.
Yes, thank you, sir. We say we have the 8 people out there. We're very lucky. And so we've got a suite of marine biologists, some terrestrial people out there, because, like Kelly was mentioning, the bird surveys. We keep talking about them, even though, we're fish people, because we're very proud to be able to do them. Cayman, being able to put these people on board meant that we were able to do the bird surveys, whereas the other OTs could not, because they just did not have the people resources that Cayman had. Then to combine with the James Cook expedition. And we've got coral people out there as well. And, everybody's looking at fish as well whenever they have a chance. And so, yeah, we're very fortunate to have them all out there working through the suite of things. Kelly, I don't know if you want to add anything about anything in particular people are working on.
So just adding to what you said, yeah, people have been doing a lot of different things. Justin is obviously focusing on a lot of the water quality work that's going on. So some of the water that we've been actually collecting is as deep as, 2,000 meters, and that's really quite something. But he will be helping with the eDNA, so the environmental DNA collection, but also other nutrient profiling, so things like chlorophyll, and kind of finding out what the levels are. Paul, Sabrina, and Claire and Megan have been helping a great deal with the photos that we've been taking from the towed camera, but also the specimen sorting. So in addition to collecting water and taking photos, we are also actually collecting specimens from the deep, and that will help us, again, get a holistic idea of what productivity actually looks like. So it's one thing, to take photos, and another thing to collect water, but kind of the overarching picture of biodiversity happens when you combine those things, as well as, I guess, taking samples, which I know some people were a bit upset about, but really it is kind of seeing like, okay, there are a lot of prey species, for example. We've been seeing a lot of shrimps, which means that the productivity is quite high to help support an ecosystem that can have lots of apex predators like sharks. So it's been really quite informative.
And again, the sort of the gold standard of classic science is taking these little samples that people can then compare to. And I know Kelly was working and trying to hopefully get some of these then into the Cayman National Museum, through talking to museum for, that's an afterwards thing.
Yeah.
But also then through this Blue Belt UK connection into the UK National Science Museum as well, so that these samples can be banked then for future researchers to go and, compare this little shrimp from 6,000 feet deep, 10 miles, 25 miles off of Cayman to one pulled up from somewhere else, to see how things compare. And if any members of the public are intrigued by any of this and want to come out and want to know more, it's we're having an evening event on the 25th where the Cayman science team and hopefully some of the UK science team will be there to talk about what they've been doing, show videos of what they've been doing, and answer questions firsthand. So that's on Wednesday the 25th, next week, Wednesday the 25th at 5:30 p.m. at Governor's Village Cafe. So that's the new hotel there in between Cost You Less and Lime Tree Bay. So really easy to get to on the various bypasses from wherever you're coming from in the country. Come on out at 5:30. So right after work, just come down there, hang out with us for a bit, talk to the scientists. They'll present some of the work they did, videos shot up right on board the boat, and get a first-hand feeling for what they were experiencing out there, or just get it from the people who experienced it and what they saw, and how amazing some of the work that they were doing was. Yeah.
So Kelly, before we close off, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments and any advice that you may have for youngsters, younger Caymanians who may have an interest in, marine biology or in this whole area of marine conservation as well.
Thank you so much. So really, it's been fantastic to be able to see this firsthand. And I thought, Cayman waters are definitely special. And this was looking into, the coastal reefs that we have. But now I can 100% confirm that what we have in our own waters is unique, beautiful, and absolutely fantastic. Honestly, some of the best reefs I've seen in the Caribbean, and really, I will do my utmost, as well as with the rest of the department, to ensure that we protect them for a really long, long time. In terms of advice for any budding marine scientists or environmental scientists, I would say keep going. It can be a really quite challenging road. And so oftentimes it seems easier to do anything else. But what you do matters and will make a difference. For those of you that maybe don't want to be scientists, you don't have to be. Obviously, the marine environment that we have is for everyone. Our seas are for everyone. And as long as you know how important they are and how special they are, but also recognize how fragile they can be, and you work towards, ensuring that you respect them appropriately, you are also helping us kind of ensure that there are fish in the sea, that there are coral reefs left for, not just tomorrow or not just the year after that, but for many, many years to come. So I would say everybody can do their part. You don't have to be a marine scientist to make a difference. Even, fishing responsibly is still helping. And I think that's something that we're really kind of keen to share, that we are not anti-fishing by any means. Just because we're doing this research doesn't mean that it will be applied in a way that will be I guess, unbeneficial to the Cayman public and our culture and heritage. Rather, we want to work together, to help protect it together.
And I would imagine that anyone who may have suffered from seasickness would have gotten over it by now, right? After the length of time that you've been on board the vessel.
Yes, they're all okay. They have sea legs, so we're really pleased to see that.
Great. Kelly, thank you. Thank you very much. John, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments and any reminders as well. And of course, the governor will have the last word.
Just anybody wanting more information, check out doe.ky. You'll find everything about the Blue Belt there and more. And you can also, from there, find our social media to follow Kelly and the rest of the team out there on what they're doing, as well as everything else that DOE is doing. And that will also help you find, again, the 25th is a time to come out and hear from, your research team who's been, spending a week 50, 60 miles offshore looking to see what they see. Again, that's the 25th of February, so next week, Wednesday, 5:30 p.m., Governor's Village Cafe. Come on out, talk to us, hear what they have to say, see what they saw.
And the doors open at 5:30, I think?
Doors open at 5:30, so come straight from work, hang out with us, and here, talk to the people who've been out there seeing the stuff firsthand.
Excellent. Governor.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, this is just a really significant program. It's quite an expensive one. We spent about $2 million dollars so far on the Blue Belt, and it will continue. We're very grateful for Premier and Minister Cathy Ebanks-Wilkes for their support for it. And I think it's a great example of how the UK and Cayman are looking forward in partnership to see what we can do that actually makes a difference. So, you've got 44 expert scientists on this boat. It's a big boat. It's doing new stuff. We've got our 8 people from Cayman. So really, for me, it is quite a first, and it is looking at an area, the deep sea, that we have not properly investigated at all, really, before. So it gives us an opportunity to do something new, and I'm sure it sets the gold standard for how we cooperate in the area of environment in the future. And our MPs, the members of Parliament who were here last week, saw some of what we were doing on the environment, and they were very impressed. And they will go back with the leader of that group, Sarah Champion, to continue to spread the word in the UK that environment with Cayman is one of the most important aspects of our cooperation together. So very excited to see the boat next week.
Great. John, I'm not sure if we gave any links if persons wanted to go online and see what's happening. Did we provide that?
doe.ky. Go to that website. You'll have links to all of our various social media, so whichever one they want to follow us on, or they can just usually check them for, search at DOE or at DOE Cayman, and they'll find us on our social media. All of our information, we try to reflect a lot of it back on our website, doe.ky. And again, come out on the 25th at 5:30 at Governor's Village and talk to us.
Okay. Again, I want to thank you, Governor, for making yourself available. John, thank you. And to Kelly and her colleagues there on the RRS, James Cook, all the best to you as well. And of course, extremely thankful for the UK, for all that they do to continue to encourage us and push us to ensure that we retain the biodiversity, we retain the quality of it, and that while we are headed towards development, that we have to ensure that that balance is created, that while we develop, we also ensure that we're able to sustain those good things, those earthly things that we have as well. Folks, top of the hour, or headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the phone lines will be open. This will give you an opportunity to opine as well. If you have any questions or comments in relation to what we have just discussed, or anything that you may want to contribute, we look forward to you joining us after the headline news at 9 o'clock. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Marking its 9th year, the Alex Panton Foundation's annual Youth Mental Health Symposium returns tomorrow. This year's theme is Lighting the Way, Turning Hope into Action. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 4:35 p.m. at Hotel Indigo. Register at alexpantonfoundation.ky. In international news, more unmarked police cars have arrived at Royal Lodge in Windsor to continue searching Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's previous home. The former prince was released from custody after 11 hours on Thursday night following his arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was pictured returning to the Sandringham estate after being released under investigation. This means Andrew is free to go as he pleases, according to the BBC's legal correspondent. The king, who was not told of the arrest in advance, said he learned of the news, quote, with deepest concern. The arrest, first reported by the BBC, comes after Thames Valley Police said they were assessing a complaint over the alleged sharing of confidential material by the former prince with late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew has previously denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. He has not responded to the BBC's request for comments on the specific allegations in relation to the release of millions of Epstein files in January. And an Austrian climber has been found guilty of gross neglect manslaughter after his girlfriend froze to death on Austria's highest mountain last year. The man has been given a 5-month suspended sentence and fined about £8,400. His girlfriend died of hypothermia during a climbing trip in January 2025. In a statement sent to the BBC, the court said it considered the man's previous clean record and the loss of a person close to him to be, quote, mitigating factors. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio at this point in time. We understand that because normally we would have Fridays for government. So we had Minister Myles on early, and then we had the governor and Mr. John Bothwell, and we linked up with Miss Keller Forsythe on board the RRS James Cook. we know that there are the lying in state of the body of the late Mr. Austin Harris, former member of Parliament, in our Parliament. That's taken place at 9:30 this morning. So, of course, all of our ministers, government officials, parliamentarians will be there, and that has, as a result, their commitment to that, we were unable to have other ministers on this morning. So first of all, we're going to go back to our birthday shout-outs. And let me remind you now that the phone lines are open as well. So if you want to call in and if you have something that you want to opine on, you can call us on our toll-free number, which is provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number, 925-3261. And you hear how clear that WhatsApp connection is with Miss Keller Forsythe this morning. It was really clear, and she's out to sea. She's out at sea, as well. So let's look at some of the birthday greetings that we didn't bring to you because we needed to abbreviate things to accommodate Minister Myles. Want to give him an opportunity to get as many points in as possible. So today we see that George Borden is celebrating his birthday today. George Borden, happy birthday to him. Yesterday, Noel O. Willis celebrated a birthday, as well as Carmen Francis celebrating a birthday yesterday. And tomorrow, Nadira Jackson will be celebrating a birthday along with Mr. Lester Timothy. He will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow as well. So those are the birthday shout-outs, and of course they were brought to you by Coca-Cola as well as the credit union. So let's look at we have two callers. Let's go to the phone lines. I have several comments here on WhatsApp, but we will get to those as well. Let's go to our phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning there, Mr. O.C. Connor.
Hey, good morning. How art thou? Been quite a while.
Yeah. You get guesses on the people of station that don't want us to call in. Don't give us a break to call in, and I try to get on WhatsApp when I was overseas with Professor Roy and Dr. Teresa and Dr. McField, but I couldn't get on.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry about.
I don't know for what they declined. If people declining my call, I don't know because they never recognized how the call was coming in, or I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There was a point where we had some issues with the WhatsApp, but we got that resolved as well.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I heard the minister on this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little bit disappointed now, boy.
Well, no reason.
We were expecting things to happen from January. Now they put it off. Now I hear it being put off again. So, but what I wanted to mention, I'll get back to that.
Okay.
Is that back during Dr. Frank McField term, in Parliament, in the Legislative Assembly, as a minister, he used to advocate for union, workers' union. Would it be like a workers' union, something like that? And basically, he was forced. He was actually forced to retire or resign from that organization because the then governor told him straight up that he didn't want no union man in cabinet with him. Okay, so it made a union look like a bad thing. But in my opinion, Chamber of Commerce, isn't that not too like a union for the business people is not like a union also.
That is the body that they belong to, and they certainly advocate on their behalf. Yes.
Right. Yeah. They're all members of that organization, union, or whatever it is you want to call it. So that to me too is like a union, right? And it seems to me that particular union called Chamber of Commerce is getting to this government too, because they brought the government that gets in, that preaches a lot of nice things to the people to get us to elect them. As soon as they get invited down by the wharf for that luncheon, midday luncheon, I don't know what it is they put in the lunch, in the, I don't know whether it's kind of, remember that turtle meat fiasco they had one time? I don't know if that's the same case with the luncheon that they receive or some ballroom at one of the hotels. And then all of a sudden, the things that were promised to us, the generational people that elect the members, then everything is watered down. Because I was hearing some really fantastic things that were making the generational people say, well, this is the government. We finally get the government that we want. Now we'll see. I think things have been watered down even before they go into the assembly.
I wouldn't feel so disappointed yet or pessimistic at this point in time. We need to give things an opportunity to all line up, and as you make policy and then you get into legislation, there are always little hiccups that you don't see, that you don't know about. In particular, this morning the minister spoke about the fact that with the national ID and working along with the minister Isaac Rankin in that regard, that they recognize what needed to be done as far as some generational Caymanians are concerned, something like over 2,600 of them who may fall into that category that would have to go and apply for acknowledgement of Caymanian status. So they have made amendments now, or made amendments to legislation that exempts anyone who was born prior to the 20. I think it's 23rd of June, somewhere in June of 1977, because that's when the immigration law changed. Prior, in the 1971-72 Caymanian Protection Law, you were considered to be Caymanian if you were born in the Cayman Islands or of parents, one of whom was born in the Cayman Islands. In 1977, the then minister or member of Executive Council, Mr. Truman Borden, made an amendment for the avoidance of doubt. And at that point in time, then you had to have one parent who was domiciled in the Cayman Islands. So if you were born overseas and your both parents were overseas, but they weren't domiciled in Cayman, you were not recognized to be Caymanian. So that date is significant. So that they have done that. I made it quite clear. I made it a point to have the minister stress, and I didn't have to push him on this. He knew exactly what he was doing, to point out to people that the government was not backtracking, in terms of their policy decisions and, what the law is aimed at doing. It is just some tweaking to that as well. But as far as the policy is concerned, his commitment to Caymanians and ensuring that in order for the system to work, it has to be to the advantage of Caymanians and Caymanians first. They're not backing down from that.
Okay, Ose, so that I take it that you would have to be acknowledged too, get acknowledgement too?
I would have.
Because
if they didn't put in this particular amendment, in terms of for the national ID, I would have, yes.
But Ose, I thought it would be the opposite way around. I thought it should have been people that born after 1977, 2077 or 1977. Not the later ones, because that we all know who we are. It's all these different people now that run up and down here that are telling me that they're Caymanian, that I don't even recognize them.
But you know
they don't even carry their Cayman surname. They should be the one.
But you know what they will tell you. You know what they will tell you, Lord Graham,
They're
and
a territorial citizen, right?
well, they will also tell you that I have the paper to prove that I'm a Caymanian because I have that status certificate. The only thing that I have that I can say is, other than the fact that by operation of law I am, my Caymanian accent, and some Caymanians don't even have that now, because when they talk about the Cayman Islands, Cayman, not Cayman.
Yeah, and I said on your show before, to determine who Caymanians are, one of your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparent would have to be born in 1930 and back. No, that's a Caymanian.
I got you.
Right, 1930. That would be a good one? Okay. All right. Now, I just want to touch on the fee.
Yep.
Quickly, yeah, on the license. So see, when you work that out, that's $1.64. $1.64 to drive on these beautiful roads of the Cayman Islands,
$1.64 per day or per
day?
Per day?
Per day.
Yeah.
I got a friend living in Prospect. He got to pay $2 down, $2 up, $4 for him. People that driving car, only being paid, we only charging them $1.64. If there was someone in a toll country where they got to go through 4 and 5 tolls, there would have been more than that. $1.64 they're paying to drive on these beautiful roads where NRA paint them up with nice, some special paint to direct them where to go. Oh, see, that in itself wasn't enough. Now they go and get plastic fence posts to fence off the roads like you're running cows. Cows, you don't need that, see. Because one cow go and everyone follow behind him. And now I see they licking down the plastic fence posts too. So, you know how much, and they complain about building more road and doing this. Well, see, $15 million to build 1 mile of road, especially through the swamp.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
That's
a lot of moolah.
Money. So, and they complain about, I suggested it should have been $1,200 a year. But not for me, though,
For others, but not for me. Okay, you take care. Let's grab our next caller. Caller, good morning. Oh, we have to. Oh, gosh, I almost forgot. I'm Susan. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We still have another caller on hold. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Fall in love with your space. Enjoy 30% off custom closets now through Saturday, February 28th. Why not give the gift that lasts? A custom design closet, perfect for his, hers, or both. Professionally designed, expertly installed. Hurry! Offer ends Saturday, February 28th. Don't miss this opportunity to save 30%. Brand Source Custom Closets, Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 today.
Big news from Cayman Airways. Non-stop flights to Austin, Texas are coming this summer. Tickets are now on sale from just $367 CI round trip. Some conditions apply. Don't wait. Sale ends soon. Book your Texas summer getaway now at CaymanAirways.com.
with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We don't have any callers on hold at this point in time, so we do have some of the messages that we want to share with you. This person says they want to send birthday greetings to Miss Sheila Minzet, also to Miss Hazel Brown and Mr. Lester Timothy, who are all celebrating their birthdays tomorrow. So Miss Sheila Minzet, Miss Hazel Brown, and Mr. Lester Timothy. That is one message. Here's another one. This person says, can you please air this matter for me, if you deem it appropriate, or forward to the powers that be. It's about our unreliable public transport system. Person says that on Wednesday, the 11th of February at about 2 p.m., they went to the bus stop closest to the Marriott Hotel intending to catch a public bus going into West Bay. Person says, I was there for about half an hour, and during that time, 3 buses all displaying identification marks, public bus, West Bay. As those buses were approaching me heading towards West Bay, I flagged them down, but they all went by without stopping. I decided to walk the route towards West Bay and to keep an eye out for other buses that might be coming from behind. While walking, 2 other buses with similar markings came from behind, and I flagged them down, but they too went by without stopping. I walked as far as Grand Pavilion and stopped to rest. A good Samaritan drove up and stopped next to me. He asked me if I was waiting for a bus going to West Bay, and I told him yes. He said he would give me a ride because he knows when cruise ships are in, the public buses cater to those cruise passengers, transporting them to and from the 7 Mile public beach. I got into his car, and on our way to West Bay, upon reaching in the vicinity of the public beach, across from the Indigo Hotel, I counted 5 public buses with the markings as aforementioned parked on the side of the road, and a 6th with a similar marking pulling up behind those that were already parked. With all the challenges we are facing with traffic on our roads, I thought we could look to the public transportation system to bring some relief. But from what I have experienced, those thoughts now seem to be futile. From listening to Minister J on your talk show recently, I believe he is well aware of this behavior, but I would like to see action taken to rectify this problem ASAP. That is well put by the writer, and certainly regret the inconvenience that they endured during this process. Again, it goes to the whole issue of enforcement. Have one of your public transport officers, one of your enforcement officers positioned at the public beach during cruise ship days and enforce the rules that are in place that requires these bus drivers to complete their route. We keep talking about the fact that we would want to restrict the ownership of vehicles, motor vehicles in Cayman, and to try to restrict as much vehicular traffic as possible. We keep saying, but we can only do that if we have a reliable public transport system to offer. Well, we can only have a reliable transport system if we enforce the laws. We know, and I'm going to say this, and if you want to contradict me, If you want to criticize me for it, then fine. But I would say, anecdotally, that public transport drivers are some of the biggest scofflaws on our roads when it comes to obeying traffic rules, when it comes to driving carefully, cautiously, and responsibly on our roads. They are the main culprits. You see it every day. They don't stop at designated bus stops. They stop with portions of their vehicles into the lane that you're in, and that is to slow you down so that they can make their stop and start off and take off again before you're able to cross them. They are some of the worst drivers on our roads, and something needs to be done because, folks, that is not Cayman. That is not what we are all about, and something needs to be done about it. I agree with this writer, and I hope and trust that someone is listening. Here's another one. Comment this morning. Good morning. This was to Minister Myles when he was on this morning. They said, Honorable Minister, stand your ground on Caymanian employment. We are behind you. So again, and you heard the minister making no apologies to anyone. He has pointed out what his commitment is, and the fact that things, will move forward, but they must, and these are my words and my interpretation, they must move forward, if not certainly in lockstep with development and work for non-Caymanians, that Caymanians, must be ahead, as far as that is concerned. And, he has not backtracked on that, and I don't believe that he will. You will see any backtracking, and based on what you hear from the Premier and other ministers, they are behind him in this regard. They just want to ensure that all of the ducks are lined up, that everything is done right. This person has written and said, good morning, OC. Didn't the government do a consultation before making the proposed changes? A little confused, and this was also in relation to when Minister Myles was on. Yes, a consultation was done, but again, with that consultation, they took the feedback. They went out there to the various stakeholders as well. But again, no legislation is perfect. And if you can catch the issues before the law comes into effect, that is better than having issues after the law comes into effect, and then legal challenges and possibly successful legal challenges as well. So the person goes on to say, my question is in respect of the Compass article and Cayman Finance saying they will find it difficult to attract workers. How do these proposed immigration changes affect attracting workers? As a work permit holder, should never think that this entitles them to stay in Cayman forever and become a Caymanian. Absolutely right. No guarantee whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the proviso is and should be that the mere fact that you are able to get a work permit and you're able to reside here for 9 years is in no way indicative or in no way committing the government to granting you permanent residence or Caymanian status to that effect as well. I'll talk a little bit more about this whole issue, of leaving money on the table, as far as work permits are concerned as well. Let's find other comments as well. Thank you. I was thinking Okay. We have a caller on hold, but we do have to take a commercial break first. We want to say to that caller, hang in there. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we return, we will take your call, so please stay tuned.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
My earliest recollection when I was in high school is looking forward to Saturday mornings. Radio Cayman had my favorite show, the Top 15 Countdown. It was then hosted by Lomax Rankin and sponsored by Funky Tanks. A couple years later, I got a job there. I was able to host that same show all by myself. It will be a countdown of the 15 best-selling records on the island, one by one, till we get to the top. Those were the good old vinyl days. This is Alfred T.A. Radio Cayman. Want to wish you a happy 50th anniversary and keep on jamming till infinity and beyond.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines to our caller who's been on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. This is Leonard Ebanks from West Bay.
Good to hear your voice. Great to hear your voice, sir.
I'm a keen listener of the program.
Thank you.
Not only yours, but Charlo's. But I don't call in too often. But today I want to call in, not to comment on the challenges or issues of the day, as you usually how you're on, but to extend my best wishes to Radio Cayman celebrating 50 years broadcasting. I vividly recall during my posting overseas in St. Lucia, when I was working there, one evening I was trying to find a station to listen to and heard this familiar voice. It was Joanne Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
I was so proud of being one of the original listeners to this program, but more proud that it was extended so far away, because I was, thousands of miles away, or 1,500 away. That's not Cayman brag,
True.
But I was so proud, and I wish Radio Cayman another 50 years. Maybe another 100 years, long before we all are gone. And it's a pleasure listening to Radio Cayman. Yourselves and the other presenters on the radio, they do a fantastic job. So congratulations to all. Also, another little bit of news. I think it was Mr. Dunlop that was brought in from overseas.
Roy Dunlop, that's correct.
That's correct, Roy Dunlop. I also wrote him a congratulatory letter from there, expressing my thanks and my proud Caymanian way of saying thank you very much for a job well done.
Before you go, Mr. Ebanks, before you go, you mentioned the fact that you were over in St. Lucia, and those were the days when Caymanian companies, and some still do it. They probably, you end up going much farther, places like Hong Kong and Dubai if you're in the financial services industry. But how important was those overseas attachments to other jurisdictions in terms of exposure and experience for the job that you were going to do or you were doing?
Yes. That was very, very important. At the time, I was working with the Royal Bank of Canada. And I joined the bank here in 1967 and went up through the ranks. And then I was then posted to Jamaica. I was there for about a year this would be 75, 76. And from there, I was sent to St. Lucia, where I was manager of a branch there, an independent branch. And these postings were exceedingly important, particularly to us who wanted a career in banking. My good friend Harry Chisholm was sent to Jamaica, and he had postings to other places just before I was posted overseas. But if we did not go overseas, we were sort of sidelined if we did not accept the posting at that time. But when you went, you got tremendous exposure because you were coming from a small jurisdiction into a larger jurisdiction, getting experience on different type of areas in the economy of that country. So when I Cayman was a fledgling or just starting their financial industry, I went to Jamaica and then I was posted there, and I was dealing with people who were in farming, who were in manufacturing, who were in export business. So therefore that widened the scope of learning, of course, because you're learning all the time. And then from there, went to St. Lucia, where it was basically the same, but a smaller country. So I then made the decision to come back to Cayman, and I started a bank at the time, and the rest is history.
Yes, and you certainly made your mark in the financial industry as well. And while you've said congratulations and thank you to us here at Radio Cayman, we want to say congratulations and thanks to you as well, for the contributions that you have made. We know that you have also served on several, statutory boards as well, and we want to thank you for your service, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I always believe from the beginning that private sector and the public sector need to work together. The government cannot do everything, and the expertise that is within the private sector should be used, and I certainly extended my services from the very beginning, and I also learned a lot from that too. It gave me a lot of exposure. As you know, I was on several high boards, including the Anti-Corruption Commission when it was first established.
And you were also on one of the constitutional commissions, right?
Sorry. Yes, I was in one of the constitutional commissions along with my good friend of memory, blessed memory now, the Honorable Benson Ebanks now as a national hero.
Yes.
And and Mr. Hunter.
Arthur Hunter, yes.
Yes, the three of us did a review. Our recommendation didn't get all done, but when the next Constitutional Commission on that, they used our draft as a template, and they went through it, and was a lot of information on ours, and we did if I may say so, we did a very thorough job. But politics always trump everything.
Yes. Well, Mr. Eubanks, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. You have a great day. Enjoy the weekend as well, and great hearing from you.
Likewise, and again, my congratulations to the station. And like I said, not only the next 50 years, but perhaps the next 100 years or whatever, in infinity. All right, take care, and to your listeners, have a nice day and a nice weekend as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we have enough time to grab another caller before we go to our last commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Just a small one. I was listening to some of the opposition yesterday on the radio there with the lady. And they were talking about, they were running the government down and talking about what they're not doing, what they should have done. But that was the thing that they should have done when they was there and they didn't do it. And they're talking about we are already 3-4 months into the year. How are they going to believe what they say when they don't even know how far into the year we are? That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Grab another caller, Miss Susan. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
O.C.?
Yep.
Yeah, could have gone to commercial break and give me plenty of time to talk.
We still got someone behind you.
All right, but that's okay. I just want to listen to Mr. Eubanks from Wesley, and I've been on all the boards that he's been on. Matter of fact, they don't want to put me on no board. They say that I'm too radical and I'm not gonna listen. So it sounds like they want people that they can control. You know how I go. I too would like to say. Matter of fact, I did a recording with DJ Lynn, congratulating Radio Cayman on the 50th anniversary.
Okay.
But being off island, I haven't heard it. But my good friend, the old gal, Susan, said that had been playing. So I too would like to say a happy anniversary, 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman. And my first experience with Radio Cayman was that we had our own Lomax Rankin, who was one of the first ones to work at Radio Cayman. And back in the day, we didn't have like the DJs they had now. So whenever we as scouts had a little get together at Lomax's brother's house, Oswell, who was our scout master, we Lomax would know that we were having that event. So he did less talking and played a lot of music, and the music that we'd love and that we could dance and different things too. So that was one great experience that we had as youngsters when Radio Cayman first kicked off. And then another one was Mr. Miller from our side. He would just tell you straight up, if you don't like what I'm playing, turn the radio off. You know, he was really something. So that was my good experience with Radio Cayman.
Okay.
And now I get to be able to call in and cackle with you so often.
Certainly, and we know our listeners enjoy that. They look forward to hearing you on there.
Yeah. A lot of people do. People, Miss Pat Kirkconnell, all them tell me they don't do much until they hear me come on. So that makes me feel good coming from somebody that age, you know?
Certainly, yes.
Yeah. Okay, talk to you soon.
All right, Lord Graham, take care. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at Cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Fall in love with your space. Enjoy 30% off custom closets now through Saturday, February 28th. Why not give the gift that lasts? A custom design closet, perfect for his, hers, or both. Professionally designed, expertly installed. Hurry! Offer ends Saturday, February 28th. Don't miss this opportunity to save 30%. Brand Source Custom Closets, Dorsey Drive Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 today.
My earliest recollection when I was in high school is looking forward to Saturday mornings. Radio Cayman had my favorite show, the Top 15 Countdown. It was then hosted by Lomax Mankin and sponsored by Funky Tanks. A couple years later, I got a job there. I was able to host that same show all by myself. It would be a countdown of the 15 best-selling records on the island, one by one, till we get to the top. Those were the good old vinyl days. This is Alfred T.A. Radio Cayman. Want to wish you a happy 50th anniversary and keep on jamming till infinity and beyond.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last segment of the show this morning. Any calls, Miss Susan? Miss Susan, do we have any calls? No callers. Okay. What this person? This is a comment in relation to the discussion that we were having with Mr. John Bothwell and the governor, Ms. Jane Owen. Says, would it be possible at some point in time to have a conference for students, and that would be for children who are interested in those subjects, like marine biology and things of that nature, and having some sort of a town hall meeting or a conference that would attract or would help to inform those students that may have an interest in it. And I guess I would add to that and say, how involved are they in the schools, the Department of Environment in relation to speaking to opportunities and those persons who may have an interest in the work that the Department of Environment does, and maybe joining them as well. Okay, this person has written and said several things, so I have to read them carefully. The person says, Graham is exactly right. The Chamber of Commerce is a union for the business people. Unfortunately, it is the workers who have no voice, no representation, and that is so wrong. That is coming from Miss Lorna Bush, and she approves the reading of this message. She goes on to say, I too was a bit disappointed to hear that certain things in the immigration reform is being put on hold temporarily, something to that effect. But I still have faith that Minister Myles will do the right thing. It is amazing how a Scotsman, Steve McIntosh, has come to this island and created a recruitment agency that has kept so many Caymanians out of a job or stopped them from advancing, yet he is such an influencer on what our government does. They don't listen to ordinary voices like mine, etc., but they have all day for the Steve McIntoshes of Cayman. I do not like how this is unfolding at all. It becomes clearer all the time who the puppet masters are and whose strings they are pulling. I can hardly believe that there are only 2,600 Caymanians affected by Alden McLaughlin's stupidity. I'm reading it, as it is written, not necessarily that I agree with it, but I'm reading it as it is written. That law stated that anyone born after 1977 had to be acknowledged. Both my children and all of my grandchildren, and now my only great-grandchild, all fall within that range. Are you telling me that only 2,600 Caymanians were born after 1977? I'm not sure that that's what they're saying. Maybe there are 2,600 Caymanians who fall into that time frame, 1972, 1977. So it's not born after 1977. It would be before, because it is those persons who are born before who, and these are my words now, those persons who were born before who by operation of law would have Caymanian status. And operation of law means that under the 1972 Caymanian Protection Law, what it said in relation to belonging to the Cayman Islands, and the phrase used that belong to the Cayman Islands, if you were born in the Cayman Islands or of parents, one of whom was born in the Cayman Islands, then you belong to the Cayman Islands, which later translated into possessing Caymanian status. So that's what the 72 law. 1977 law stretched it a little bit more and said not only did you have to be born in the Cayman Islands or of parents, one of whom was born in the Cayman Islands, but you also had one of those parents had to be domiciled in the Cayman Islands. So we made it a little bit more difficult. So it's not those after 1977, it is those before 1977, the 2,600 that they're talking about. So the person goes on to say, this is too insulting and I refuse to do it. I am not sure that there was any law that was implemented that stated that anyone born after 1977 had to be acknowledged. I'm not sure of that. But I stand to be corrected. I stand to be corrected as well. One more WhatsApp message, and then we do have a caller. 7 minutes to do all of that. This person says, Mr. Connor, one of your listeners believe that they heard you refer to the late Walsham Conley couple of Fridays ago. Walsham Conley is still alive. He's their first cousin. And if I did, I apologize, for that as well. I believe this may have been in relation to speaking about the Caymanian club that was established in New York. And I profusely apologize if I said, and I have no reason to doubt the writer, that if I referred to him as the late Walsham Conley, I apologize for that and apologize for any harm that this may have caused to any family member or any other person. My mistake, and I acknowledge it and apologize for it as well. Let's go to phone lines. WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, if Caymanians need to see what the future looks like for us, depending on governments to find solutions to our problems. You just need to take a look at the garbage dump. How they have continued sweeping the dirt under the carpet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We're going to our final caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I sent a message to you to say hi.
Oh, hi. Yes, good morning, Mr. Connor. This is Suzanne Bothwell here. I heard the caller, the person who wrote in about the bus situation. You were speaking about it about half an hour or 15 or 20 minutes ago about trying to get a bus to West Bay and could not get a bus. You know, that is extremely sad. It saddens me to hear about that situation. I'm not surprised, but I feel very sad about it because there are people here who are trying to do what they have to do and should be able to rely on a public bus system, but not even the buses they can get. So we can only imagine the thousands of people on this island who are facing this situation every single day.
Mm-hmm.
We have, I'm not pointing to one government. I would say it is successive governments. But the situation is heightened now because of the traffic situation, right? The whole road traffic congestion. And I do not understand why they are determined to build their way out of the problem. Because the problem does not require building roads to be the solution, right? It is a multifaceted issue. The government has clearly, if they took a drop in the bucket of the amount of money that they put towards roads in this country and invested in public transportation, it would be transformative, right? They do not even supply the bus stops. A charitable organization in the country has taken up that mantle to supply bus stops.
Yep.
When they build their roads, they do not even carve out sections of the road perimeter to allow buses to pull off of the road. They are content for the buses to block traffic, to cause chaos, to quite frankly put pedestrians in danger, right? They are content to not have, we have so much technology around us. There is no GPS monitoring, no tracking to ensure compliance. So of course the buses are not going to stop at the bus stops. Our domestic workers rely on bus stops, or on the buses. Our Caymanians rely on buses, and our tourists rely on the buses. Okay? So if we're going to complain to say there are too many vehicles on the road, and then go so far as to penalize people who use the same road to pay a whole different category of fees, yet we are not putting in place the funding or the policies or the strategies to make everybody's life better, then you cannot expect a different result.
True.
Right? I think it is damning. It's not even a crying shame anymore. It is damning. It is neglectful. It is disrespectful to the average person in this country who have work to do, places to go. And we pride ourselves in touting that we are a so-called first world country. But yet we cannot even have third world public transportation. What we have is a joke. And I'm not being facetious or mean about it. It is a joke. I would love to be able to not have to drive my car up and down all the time and to take a bus in a couple of places I have to go. But it's not even an option for me. There aren't even bus stops in the street that I live on, and I live in the heart of Georgetown. right?
Yep.
So, I really, my heart goes out to the person who was impacted in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I am thankful for them for taking the time to register their complaint. Because 99.5% of people who experience this on a daily basis, this is part of their normal life. They just say, well, shrug their shoulders and say, well, what can I do? So very sad. I leave you there. It's 10 o'clock and have a wonderful morning.
Thank you very much, and great hearing from you as well. Great hearing from you. Very quickly before we go, one of our listeners has inquired about this evidence that's being given in the UK House of Lords, the Committee on the Joint Declaration. And I did a little quick Google on this, and says this was on the 10th of February. It says, tomorrow, the House of Lords Constitutional Committee will hear from 5 UK overseas territories as a part of its inquiry reviewing the UK Overseas Territories Joint Declaration. Given evidence will be Blondel Cuff, CBE, Overseas Representative of the Government of Anguilla, Kai Retta Farrell, UK Representative for the Government of Montserrat, the Premier, the Honourable Charles Washington Missick, OBE, Government of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Premier, the Honourable Dr. Natalio D. Wheatley, Government of the British Virgin Islands, Attorney General, the Honourable Kim Wilkinson JP, Government of Bermuda, and it talks about the themes, and the person is curious as to why we have not seen the Cayman Islands name in this, and whether or not the Cayman Islands will be appearing before this House of Lords committee on the joint declaration as well. So I'm just putting it out there. When I get an opportunity, I will inquire, from the Premier or the Premier's office in this regard. And one last WhatsApp comment. This person says, good morning, Mr. Connor. I am confused as to whether the amendments mentioned by Minister Myles, IDs, and Caymanian acknowledgement has to do with the immigration fee increase, why they need to push the March 1st date back, and why did Compass post this story this morning and pull it down? I tried to find the article on Compass as well, and couldn't find it there after someone had shared it on one of the social media platforms, one of the chat groups as well. Interesting question there in relation to that. But Minister Myles will continue to explain why this was necessary. And again, I will just simply say, and I'm not defending the minister in any way, but I'm at least clarifying and my understanding of it as to why the delays are there. And he will continue to talk about that. He will continue to explain that. But he is resolute about the fact that he will not be backing down when it comes to, these things and what he wants the law to be able to do as well. Folks, I've gone over almost 5 minutes again this morning. Going to get Miss Susan in trouble. So have a great weekend. Don't forget to join Mr. Charles Glidden, for talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.